All right, lean in. Come on, get a little closer. I want to tell you a story. It's about a guy. You probably know him. Heck, you might be him. His name's Dave. And for most of his life, Dave was, well, he was the human equivalent of beige wallpaper. The kind of guy who'd suggest a fun weekend activity, and his friends would just pat him on the head. They laughed at his ideas. They laughed at his dreams. They even laughed at his favorite pair of sneakers, which, to be fair, were a crime against fashion. But they're not laughing anymore. Want to know what happened? So, our guy Dave, his big dream, the thing he wanted more than anything, was to open a bakery. Not just any bakery. A bakery that specialized in, wait for it, savory pies. Meat pies, veggie pies, cheesy potato, pies of glory. His signature pie was called the Shepherd's Slumber Party. I know, it's a terrible name. He told his buddies about it at their weekly wing night, and I swear, Kevin snorted a buffalo wing right out of his nose from laughing so hard. A pie shop, Dave. Really, you burn toast? You once set off a fire alarm boiling water. It was brutal. They called him P. in the Sky Dave. They'd send him memes of dumpster fires labeled Dave's Kitchen. Even his own mom, God love her, bought him a fire extinguisher for Christmas. Wrapped it in everything. But Dave had a secret weapon. It wasn't talent. The man's first batch of pastry could have been used to tile a roof. It wasn't money. He was funding this dream by selling old comic books on eBay, which is the financial equivalent of trying to fill a swimming pool with a teaspoon. His secret weapon was sheer, glorious, unadulterated stubbornness. Every failure was just data. A crust too soggy. Data. A filling too bland. Data. A small, contained kitchen fire. Very important data. He'd just nod, covered in flour, looking like a confused ghost, and say, Noted. He practiced in his tiny apartment kitchen that was so small, you had to go outside to change your mind. His neighbors thought he was running a weird, carb-based experiment lab, which, to be fair, he was. For 2 years, he ate nothing but his own bizarre pie experiments. He'd show up to parties with a Tupperware container. Hey guys, I brought a chili con carne. Very surprise. And people would suddenly remember they had to go wash their hair. But he kept going. He just kept going. And that's the thing, right? That's the secret sauce that didn't go in the surprise pie. Dave wasn't some superhuman genius. He wasn't born with a silver whisk in his mouth. He just decided that the laughter, the doubt, the memes, they weren't stop signs. They were just really, really annoying road bumps. He understood something fundamental that most of us forget. The goal isn't to be good at something when you start. The goal is to be absolutely, hilariously terrible at something and be okay with that. Embrace the terrible. Throw a party for your pathetic first attempts, because that terrible first draft, that lopsided pie, that horrible first YouTube video where you forget to turn the microphone on, that's not failure. That's the first mile marker on the road to being unstoppable. You see, people laugh at two things. They laugh at things that are genuinely funny, like a cat wearing a tiny hat, and they laugh at things they don't understand. Your dream, when it's just a little seedling, looks weird to everyone else. It looks small and fragile and kind of silly. Their laughter is just the sound of their own imagination hitting its limit. It's a them problem, not a you problem. Dave's friends weren't bad guys. They just couldn't see the vision. They saw a guy covered in flour. They couldn't see the future bakery owner who'd be covered in flour. Your dream is your movie, and everyone else is just seeing the behind, the scenes blooper reel. They're gonna comment on the bloopers? Of course they are. But you're the director. You know how the story ends. So you have to become a glutton for the awkward phase. You have to fall in love with the process of being bad, because that's the only way to get to being good. Every expert was once a beginner who refused to quit. Every masterpiece was once a mess that someone decided was worth fixing. That voice in your head that says, "You look stupid," or "Everyone is watching you fail." Yeah, thank it for its opinion, and then offer it a piece of your weird experimental pie. That voice is just trying to keep you safe in your comfort zone, where the fi is strong and the dreams are small and manageable. But nothing incredible ever grew in a comfort zone. It's where dreams go to bed comfortable, and then bored. And then they start scrolling through social media, wondering where their life went. Don't let your dream get bored. Throw it a curveball. Embarrass yourself on its behalf. The moment Dave stopped seeing his lumpy pies as failures and started seeing them as lessons, the entire game changed. He wasn't failing. He was conducting delicious, buttery research. He was collecting data points on disaster until he finally triangulated the exact coordinates of awesome. And let me tell you, the day he finally nailed the shepherd's slumber party, the day that flavor explosion happened, it was like the heavens opened up and a choir of angels sang, but the angels were all just saying, "Im, im, im." He'd done it. Not through magic, not through luck, but through the relentless, daily, flowery pursuit of a goal everyone told him was ridiculous. He built his unstoppable engine one tiny, embarrassing, failed pie at a time. And that, my friends, is a recipe anyone can follow. So what happened to Dave? Well, Dave's Savory Slice is now a real place. There's a line out the door every day. And his friends, yeah, they're all regulars. Kevin, the guy who snorted the wing, he actually works there part-time now. He's in charge of sprinkling the cheese. Funny how that works, right? The very people who laugh the loudest are now your biggest fans, acting like they believed in you all along. But you'll know. You'll always know. And that knowledge, that quiet, unshakable pride, is worth more than all the success in the world. It's the proof that you didn't just build a business or learn a skill. You built a stronger version of yourself. And that's what I want for you. I want you to find your weird, savory pie idea. That thing that makes your heart do a little happy dance, even if your brain tells you it's ridiculous. I want you to embrace the awkward, glorious, messy beginning. Start before you're ready. Be terrible at something and be proud of yourself for having the guts to try. This is your sign. This is your moment. Don't let it just be a good story you watch about someone else. Let's build your unstoppable story together. Hit that subscribe button and ring the bell, because we're going to be talking a lot more about how to silence the doubters, especially the one in your own head. Now, if you'll excuse me, all this talk about pie has made me hungry. I'm nobody, and I'll see you in the next one. Now go get started. The world is waiting to laugh with you, not at you.